listening to The Bob Dean Show, only on LA Talk Radio.
Well, thank you for joining us at The Bob Dean Show. Yay. Today we have two very special guests. Ray Clanton from Miami, Florida, who is an actress and a photographer, morely, and a model, and a international bon vivant, in my words. And her father, David Clanton, who is just some dude that I know from Miami from years ago. What's up, Four Eyes?
I'm fine. And you?
Ray, hey, I'm going to continue to call you Rachel, so I'm going to stick to Ray.
No, she's not going to like that.
But she likes that.
How are you both doing?
Good. Dad, are you doing your nails?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I'm done now.
Okay, cool. We're filming.
Live.
Have you got the good side of me? Because I can't really tell.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a long process of trying to explain how this dude and I are like brothers, because he hasn't changed a bit. And Ray, I was watching this video from like 2013 of your dad and you singing some. I wrote a note here.
Is it the Katy Perry song?
Jamming to country. Wait, that's your mom. Lovely mom. Jamming to country music with my mom. Hashtag white people. Hashtag we love our country music. But,
I did not use those hashtags. Are you
it was
kidding?
Katy Perry with your dad. And you guys were saying your dad knew all. He was like, boom, 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 boom. And I was like,
Oh yeah, no, that's my dad. Sing the song for them.
Oh my God! I don't. No.
The Katy Perry one. You love that one.
Yeah, I know, but we have to get going and do it like 8 times, and then I get it. You know.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a thing though. It's like
I
a
love
secret.
it. We had a lot of fun. We do stuff like that all the time. It's pretty cool.
yeah, I was looking at some of the stuff that Ray is on your Instagram, old videos and stuff. And it's so evident that you and Abby and Luke got your good looks from a combination of your mom and dad, but the common sense all comes from.
But why are you going to do this? Why are you doing this right
You
now?
didn't finish his sentence, Dad. You didn't know.
No,
where
but
he was going
I know
with
where he's going with it.
it. You're assuming, but he's correct. Yeah, from my
You
mom.
know what happens when you assume that? It makes an ass of you and me.
You know what? My battery's going dead on my phone. I can't wait till it shuts off.
I don't even know if he's kidding.
No, I got it. I've got 2%. I'm plugging it in. Okay, we're back in.
What we're going to do first is we're going to give everybody a little background on your father and I, and then we're going to go into what you are doing, because that's the most interesting part about you and your sister and your brother and your mom, who are just incredible people. And I wanted to talk to your dad before we went on the air, because I wanted to ask him if it was okay to talk about, to mention certain stories, because David and I had a lot of fun together as punk as. I'll sum it up like this. We both lived in Nashville, Tennessee. David had just moved there. We worked at this restaurant called Spats, for our listeners. You remember?
All time, good food and drink place.
The all-time good time, good food and drink place. And they opened up at the Galleria Mall, which now I find understood in Fort Lauderdale is kind of a dump. But there's so much. I don't want to.
It's hard to believe that area is a dump now. I can't. Is it for real?
The mall is a dump, is what people, the hotel where I work.
Oh, wow. What a classy place that was.
Yeah,
Gee.
it was 40 years ago.
Yeah, it was
Down
like
there,
you're
your
nobody
dad
unless you
had a
shop there.
Spitfire. Your dad had a yellow Triumph Spitfire.
Yes.
And I had my big Oldsmobile 98 coupe. And we packed our shit like the Beverly Hillbillies, and we moved to Fort Lauderdale. And we went through a whole lot to get our beautiful
100%.
apartment in that high rise on Biscayne Bay.
You're missing out.
We should have done this first, because I'm starting to laugh at all this.
Okay, but you're missing out on the most fantastic part of that whole thing right there. And let me just back it up, reel it in a little bit. What set our whole future, I think, for being in Florida was when we were headed to where we thought we were going to go get our apartment, we took the wrong turn. You didn't really go that direction. So so we went down the street and we're going, oh my God, high rise, boom. And they're all on one side. It's right on the water. It's like, oh, geez, man, we definitely made the wrong turn. Another high rise, and then another high rise, and it was set in foreclosure. Foreclosure.
Well, the first place we went to, ladies and gentlemen, was Carmel on the Hammock, whatever that means. And it was a high rise complex, but it was somewhere in where all the mosquitoes are and such. And we had to go to a bank and get a cashier's check because that's what people did back then. And you were what? You were like 24 and I was 21 or something like that. We were punk ass kids. But we were, we were together and, we were going to make this work. And when we went to the bank to get the check on the way back, we got lost. And we found that at that time, 135th and Biscayne, 135th Street was beautiful. And we drove down and the Waterside Tower at 1248.
That's it.
Yeah. 1248. And you know what? You're the one that charmed me because that woman, and I will not, she was kind of like this New York kind of lady who just didn't
100%. 100%.
And your dad was like, hey, listen, what happened was it was a condo that they were not in foreclosure, but they were bankruptcy. I guess same thing, I guess, right? And they needed to sublet a few units to pay escrow fees. And here comes, because at the time I was much younger and thinner and tan and had all my hair, and your dad hasn't changed a bit, except now he's a Four Eyes. Yeah, you're a little, but yeah, man, we stormed into the Waterside Tower. It was great. Apartment 312.
You have really good
Oh
memory.
my God, I didn't remember that. That was good. 312.
Remember how we got busted for? We would take off. We would run. We'd get out of the elevator where I saw my first palmetto bug, and we get out of the elevator into the hall, and then your dad would go, and we'd race and run, blah, 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 and we'd it's 3, 4 in the morning, blah, 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 blah. And get to the apartment. And they could send us a polite letter because there was no email back then that said, "Y'all stop running so fast and hard." Oh, and stop doing laundry at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, they have meetings.
At any rate, let's talk about your daughter and your other daughter and your boy and your wife, the Clanton family. It's so neat because I there's so much stuff I want to say, but I can't do it in front of you and your mom and your brother and sister, Ray.
Well, I heard a story recently that Dad told me about you two. Dad, you said it was one of the best days of your life. Do you remember?
Oh.
You probably can't talk about it.
That's why I texted you to ask if it was okay to talk about that.
There's something about the Ferris wheel.
Part of it, Bob. This is something else, buddy.
Oh, okay. So, which day was it that was the best?
It's something about you guys went to like a Ferris wheel. You guys were really happy. Really happy.
Yeah. Well, what happened was the Lord shone through the sun, and it was the best, one of the best days of my friggin' life. With your pop.
That was so wild.
We got thrown out of a Rolls Royce dealership, and David, I have to tell him at least the end part. Okay, so we had this great day, and we get back to our fabulous apartment on the water, and we get in. We went for a swim and this and that. And we started at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and this is probably 7 or 8 at night. And I go in and take a shower, and I put on these remember dolphin shorts, the little silk things, every guy looked sexy. And I'm sitting there, and I'm in the living room, kind of kick back like this, and I'm watching TV. And the front buzzer rings, and your dad answers the phone, and he goes, "Hey, Bob." Bobby, your dad and my Aunt Mildred are the only two people that can call me Bobby in this whole world. And he goes, "Hey, Bobby, this girl that I'm seeing is gonna come up." And Ron, I'm sorry, this is just happening. And he goes, she's older. She's like 30. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So she comes up. He goes to the door, opens the door, and this lovely woman walks in, and they chat for a moment. And your dad comes over and he whispers in my ear. He goes, "Hey, man, Could you go put on some underwear or something? I didn't realize that my manhood was kind of hanging out of the side of the dolphin shorts. It's just a guy thing, ladies and gentlemen. We were just hanging out, and so I was like, I laughed and I was like, oh, sorry about that. And I got in the bed. That's it, right? So then, like 4 months later, I go on a job interview at the Sheraton Hotel, Rick's Bar, where your dad worked first. And it was right out of a Scarface, right? Anyway, I'm in my blue blazer and my club tie and my khaki pants, and I'm interviewing with this woman. And she's like, well, your resume is very impressive. And she goes, you certainly do look better without your balls hanging out. Just like that. I was like,
yeah.
It was the same lady. I have never been so embarrassed in my life. She's like, well, you certainly, your resume is very impressive, but you sure look different without your balls hanging out. And I'm like, oh, you're so
I remember that like it was yesterday, man. That's so funny.
God.
I mean, it was really hanging out. Well, just barely there. It was like, oh, how does he not know that? I think you were doing it on purpose, to be honest.
Well, riding that Spitfire of yours was, you know what? Half the people in the world don't even know what a Triumph Spitfire was. And your yellow Spitfire that you took, we both took care of our cars because we were dudes, man. We still are. But we took care of our cars with Q-tips and Armor All. And, under the hood, you made sure that everything was just so, and man, my Olds, when you cracked your fingers in the, when you were working out by yourself.
Yes.
You were like, I'm so glad that you took my car, because I was always like, hey, Glenn, can I use your Triumph? He's like, no. I'm like, hey, Glenn, please go drive your Triumph. No. He said one day, yeah, so I drove it to work. And then he was working it by himself, and then he crushed his fingers and had to go to the emergency room.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It's this finger, that finger, and this finger. It got me good.
I know, but
I thought I was going to pass out. I thought it was passing out.
Welcome to the story, ladies and gentlemen, is that my car was an automatic transmission and his car was not.
Yeah.
So he made it to the hospital thanks to my Oldsmobile.
Yeah,
now,
that was crazy.
We'll come back to us later because I know people are going, So, Ray.
Hey.
You're the oldest of three.
Yes.
And your beautiful mother from Georgia. Hey, wait. Hey, how's Audrey? How's your grandmother, your mom?
Mom's doing great. She's 92. She's got some pain going on, She doesn't work out like she used to because my brother really doesn't push that part. And I hate it that he doesn't do that, but it is what it is on that. But she's got her mind. You can ask her anything and boom, right there.
Dude, she FaceTimes me. Like, I think she's better with technology than you, Dad, sometimes, honestly. Like, randomly, I'll just get a face call or FaceTime from Grandma.
She does it.
In the family home, or is she? Because I know it was a pretty big ranch farm, right?
In North Carolina.
In North Carolina, what was it? Don't tell me the name of the town. Okay, tell me. Okay,
Boomer.
And the furniture people lived across the road from the
Broyhill Furniture. The niece of the.
That was when things were made in America.
Yeah, the niece lived across the street. They had
beautiful.
They had, as far as you could see, land with either cows or apples or peaches, and that's what they did. With the furniture. So that was pretty good. And we had 168 acres. And I wish we'd have kept that. I was in the military, and I'm not too sure. There was some decisions made, and I wasn't there to put my 2 cents in. Next thing I know, we didn't have it no more. And I really wasn't a big fan of that. I wish we could have kept the home front. That would have been cool.
I hate the expression, it is what it is, but sometimes it is what it is. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
No way to go back and change it.
No.
I
was going to talk about the time you came to Dee's house. Oh, that party that we went to. But your dad bought your mom that white Cadillac sedan with the red interior.
Oh my God!
What party is this?
National to visit. I'm sorry, Ray and Rhonda. And Luke and Abby, I'm sorry about what memory lane, but yeah, that big white Cadillac that your mom had, and but what was the first thing too was oh my god,
D.
so much trouble we got into, dude.
Oh, you're not going to tell about the party? You got to tell.
Please, don't you? Okay, please, David, tell us about the party.
Okay, well, it was great, and we weren't doing any kind of drugs or anything because we were good boys, and I mean, we may had stumbled on something. We didn't know what it was. So, we got rid of it slowly. But we got rid of it. And then, so we're at my brother's party, and I'm telling you, the apartment is pretty good sized apartment, probably 2,000 square feet at least. And it was packed from wall to wall with people. And it was, my brother's deaf. So, when we open the door, I mean, coming up, I'm knocking. I don't hear anything going on, but I'm thinking this is where the party is. So somebody opens the door. I mean, so much action was going on, but everybody was sign language.
And these people were young and beautiful and dressed.
They were sign language, and you'd hear the occasional. Yeah, you'd hear the occasional. Those laughs, and it was incredible to see that much stuff going on, and you could hear a pin drop at times, and everybody was having the best time of their life. It was one of those kind of parties. And so me and Bob, we well, you know what it is.
We were kicking back on the sofa like this.
Yeah.
And you said, if I may, you go, "Hey, Bob, isn't it wild that we're at this party with all these people and nobody can hear a word we're saying?" And I started laughing, and you started laughing. And then this big, biker dude who holds the cold beer, he leans over and he goes, "Some of us have partial hearing." And your dad and I were like, "Whoop." And this is with all due respect to our friends, your brother, and our friends who are deaf and non-speaking. Anybody, because this was just a funny time. It was hilarious.
That was down at by the falls, right? That was by the falls.
Yeah, South Miami.
Yeah. On 144th, something like that.
Oh my God,
that's a good little ways down there.
There are too many. All right, let's talk about your daughter. So what's going on with you, Perfectly Ray? Tell us about your Not a Real podcast. It's hilarious.
Thank you. Yeah, so I bought mics last November for fun, just because I wanted to start interviewing people. And I interviewed Alex, who's just a nurse, when she got back from work, and we posted on TikTok, and it just blew up. I think it's almost at 20 million views. So we've kind of been running with it.
It's awesome because I see them on my social media, which is limited to. I'll tell you about TikTok later with mine, but it's amazing because they're these short clips, but it's so fun. You and Alex are so crisp and clear, and it's like you are inviting everybody that's watching right into the room.
Cool. I like hearing that. Thank you.
And you guys ask each other questions, but normally you're the one that's like poof.
No,
laugh. Tell us where we can find them again.
Yeah, so you can find them on Perfectly Ray on IG or TikTok. But yeah, no, I think it's interesting to watch them back because this is the first time I've been posting on social media for so long. But this is the first time that I'm posting stuff that I actually really like, that I feel like there's personality in it. So it's cool that people are being supportive about it because it's.
And you know what's really funny, Ray? Not funny, but what's great is that it's you. It's you. It's just you and Alex, and you guys are talking about shit. I mean, things, But there's you can tell it's not no scripted, crapola from all these other things, and it's just I'm so proud of you and Alex for it's going to skyrocket as well it should.
Thank you. I wanted to get her on the podcast, so hopefully she gets home so she can say hello.
Well, if not, we'll do it. We'll have her on next time.
Absolutely.
Do you have those mics that she's got, Bobby?
Not at all.
Those are little portable mini ones. The ones that I use, the Rode, they're great. They're so great.
They're unreal. They sound so professional. Big time professional.
Well, they do sound big time professional. I should give me some. Well,
that's perfectly Ray with RAY, not REY. Just when you
Yeah, I said, didn't I say RAY? I mean, I
I
called her
don't think you
Rachel.
did. I don't think you did.
Well, I beg your pardon. I'm so sorry.
Just saying.
I wish I could have like been a fly on the wall. Actually, probably not. But like when you guys lived with each other in your friendship,
Uh.
because I've seen you guys now, what, 30 years later as friends, and
40.
you guys are like
40
bickering
years
brothers.
later.
40. Oh my God, you guys are
And
old.
I might add, it was
Oh,
me.
yeah.
You're
It was me
old.
that kept. It was
This
me
is
that
your
kept that
future,
window.
ladies and gentlemen.
It was me that kept. It was me that kept that window open, not him. He didn't give a shit. He was moved to LA and fucking doing his. I mean, he was doing his stuff, making his little videos, whatever he's doing. And I'm the one who reached out. Hey, you know, we're gonna be coming through there as a family. You think we could see each other? And he's going, I don't know. I'm a little busy, you know, like that kind of stuff.
No.
And so I stayed on him, and
no.
and then
You
we
were coming
connected.
to
It was
Los
great.
Angeles with your wonderful, talented family, because Luke was on a
Yeah,
tournament
we were
already.
heading somewhere. I
And
think
you
it
were
was
like
maybe it was Hawaii.
Anaheim or something,
Was it
which is like
Hawaii?
50 miles away. Okay. Anyway, tell us about it, Dave.
I don't know. Was it Hawaii? I don't remember where we
No,
were going.
I think you were coming to LA for
Australia.
some reason. No. So I was already living in LA when you guys reunited because I remember I was trying to do the connect you guys. So I was already living here. So I think
Okay.
you and Luke came at some point for a tournament in California, and that's when you guys saw each other. So that was
That's when we spent the
Maybe
evening
that's
in
what
Amarillo.
it
We went
was.
to walk up Rodeo Drive, and
Yeah.
that was a lovely evening.
yeah. I had to
it
drive.
was.
I had to drive us home. You got so drunk, Dad.
Listen, my motto is: if you have an airbag, have another. As soon as the show's over, I'm making us a Bloody Mary.
Hey, I don't
Extra
really
blood.
think there's one part of that story. I don't know if you glanced over to on purpose, but the one that Rachel was trying to get you to talk about, that there was one time on the beach, we went to a carnival that was down the beach and we walked to it. Remember what we were doing at that point?
No. I remember that I kicked her ass at Kadima, which was the paddleball game. I kicked her ass. And I remember when I came down to visit and we went to the beach in Miami Beach, and you took off your clothes and had that friggin' not even a thong. I'm sorry to say this in front of your lovely daughter and your wife. And but you
I
had
think
that
it was a Brazilian
looking for a
thong.
picture to hold up like this, but you had that damn. Because look, your dad he's so works out. He's got a nice body, but he takes off his shorts. We're on the beach, and he's wearing this little thing that covers his front, and it's a G-string up his butt crack. And I was like, oh. I'm like, David. And he goes, what? I look good. And I go, yeah, nice talking to you. And I moved about 50 feet down the beach.
Oh man, I don't know what come over me then, but that was pretty funny.
There's a picture.
That was good stuff. Oh, I got it on my phone. If I could pull it up, I would.
Well done. So,
And we were playing paddleball. What?
Sorry. I was asking, how long have you and the lovely Rhonda been married? 23, 24 years?
Oh, no. 30, 31. 31?
God.
Yeah, 31, I
or
think.
32. 32, I think.
You know what? David, it's friggin' crazy how fast time flies, isn't it?
Yeah, because every day, you think, okay. And then another one goes by pretty quick, for sure.
And then this happens. Anyway, so let's back. Tell us what's going on.
Dad, take yours off.
Rhonda.
No.
Is Rhonda still flying with Delta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Supposedly, she's only giving us 4 more years, and that's
36 years she's been with
Delta. Well, kudos to your beautiful wife and your lovely mom, because now what flight attendants have to go through and put up with, and they're professional people, and it's a chore. They're responsible for so much, and the passengers need to know what's happening. Each and every one, they take it so seriously, and they care, what they do. But that's a very long time, and kudos.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's told us some crazy stories. You definitely get all types of people when you're in that position, in that line of work.
Well, your mom might appreciate this. is I flew Value Jet, which is now defunct. Remember Value Jet, David? They flew out of Miami, and I'm not even going to tell the story, but it had to do with this very large man. Before we even took off, this very large man came out of the bathroom, and as he pushed his way, with his girth through the aisle, he was like, boom, 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 boom. And then suddenly this waif goes, and the other, we were like,
oh no.
And this very short, very effeminate young man with the biggest can of air freshener I've ever seen. He comes walking down the aisle of the jet going,
Oh my God! Right behind you.
Anyways,
That's crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, it was just one of the flight stories, but at any rate,
that's so dirty.
Well, it was hilarious, man.
Yeah. Was he coming out of the toilet, or he just shit himself right there in the aisle?
The gentleman that was extremely large, like huge. I'm sitting there, and I heard the door go click, click, and I'm looking at my magazine, and all of a sudden, this very large person is pushing their way up the aisle, and I was like, "Well, hello. I hope you didn't have to pay for 2 seats or whatever's going on." And then, as wherever he went, because I'm back in the tail, and wherever he went, and all of a sudden, there's a fella across the next aisle, and a woman up the next seat, and we were like, dee, dee, dee.
Oh God.
Because the gentleman had obviously, whatever he had done, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, watching the Bob Dean show. Yeah,
it followed him.
It was nasty, dude. It was nasty, and so we're sitting there going, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this hero flight attendant,
so bad,
a young man with the biggest can of air freshener I've ever seen. He goes, he's like, "I'm here, y'all," and he holds his nose and he goes. It was hilarious.
Bless him.
Okay, yeah, that had to be the funniest thing ever. I'm sure the whole plane started just cracking, but then he must have felt like a total.
Well, that's what my question was. Like, when you smell that bad, do you realize you smell that bad? Because I feel like you would.
No, he's probably used to it. And he thinks, okay, nobody's going to pick that up.
I'm so sorry I brought this up, y'all, but it was just horrible.
That sounds horrible.
Well, no, thank you for listening.
Well,
so tell us what's going on with your sister and brother, Ray.
Luke's crushing it, man. We just got to see him in Hawaii. What, 2 weeks ago, Dad?
Yeah, it's going on. It's going a week. Yeah, a little bit over a week and a half ago.
Yeah, it's crazy seeing him like actually turn into this little prodigy. Well, not little. He's taller than me now, which is fucking crazy. But it is crazy seeing him actually become this well-known golfer.
A man.
He's getting recognized. I went out with him when I was with him in Georgia. Kids came up to him and recognized him. Like, I felt like I was with a celebrity, not someone that used to fucking change their diaper. It's crazy.
He's a gifted, talented young golfer.
Yeah. What is he, 20? Almost 21?
He's 20. November, he'll be 21.
Are you there? Are you in Panama City now, or are you still there, or you just got home, David?
We just got home last night about I don't know, about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Had to flew from there to Atlanta to connect and then fly on in. But it's better than driving. Everybody's wondering, why didn't you drive? Because it's 10 hours. Miserable driving, especially when you're coming back that late.
Dad, I feel like those are unnecessary details.
Rhonda's post that I follow on Facebook. Rhonda's post. Sorry.
No, you just gave so many details to how you got home. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, and then we shut the door. We walked in.
We're not interrogating you.
People do, Ray.
It's like, how did we get it? So I checked the flights, but I just...
Well, I keep up, as I was saying, is that I follow Rhonda's posts on social media, and she's so proud of her kids and what they're doing. And, she doesn't go on and on, blah, 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 but she gives us the highlights of what her children are doing. Yeah, she doesn't mention much about you, David, but she does mention how great her kids are doing and what they're doing, and it's lovely.
Yeah, she's good at the old posting. It's like a cool scrapbook to look at. She's good.
Yeah. The iPhone makes it Easy, I guess.
I have my friggin' look. I got my first friggin' iPhone 14.
Dude, I was gonna say our
and Margaret
time.
with Elvis on there. Right?
Wow.
See?
Look at that.
From Viva Las Vegas.
I don't like
hate
iPhones.
this thing. I hate it. I want to take a sledgehammer and crush it. to pieces.
Oh, so you don't like it? I know.
no.
I have Android. It's the best.
No, I
Well,
know.
I had an Android, David, I had an Android for years. I got this
Yeah.
because I'm a comedian and an actor, ladies and gentlemen, which means I am a bartender, proudly still. And, but like, I have a great representation of Christina Scott, CA talent in Beverly Hills, and she's represented. But because since COVID, as you know, Ray, auditions, they don't. You don't go to an audition house where somebody professionally says, let's try it this way, let's try it that way. They send you a breakdown that says, hello, we want you to perform an EcoCast, which is great for the environment and cuts down on traffic. And they give you this ridiculous thing that you have to do. Like, okay, example, I got this one the other day, an audition where you have to film it yourself. That's the whole point about the iPhone and why I hate it, ladies and gentlemen, is that it says, the breakdown says, okay, you are a 67-year-old white man who is racist, but you want to be humorous, but not over the top. Pretend that you are in a social situation. I swear, ladies and gentlemen, this is true. Pretend that you're in a social situation with your children and the people across the street, but then your boss, all this, I was going to make a gesture. It's crapola. And you're supposed to do this on your iPhone at home. And thus.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why I have an iPhone. And why does this thing want to know where I am going, what I am doing, how my bowel movements are? And it can't just.
It's a lot. No, I agree. The iPhones, there's some creepy things, like also, I don't know. I feel like the ads on my phone, like I won't even text something and I'll get specific ads that I talked about with someone. It freaks me out.
That's like that.
Happens to
like
Android
that.
too.
Okay, so
Happens to
we're
Android.
all tracked. We're all tracked here. Okay.
Somehow, some way. It is
Isn't
weird
it
how that works
weird?
out.
It's so weird. I'll be talking about something. Sometimes I think I'm just fucking thinking about something and it pops up.
You know what? And the thing about that's really sad is that I'm going to be gone when you and your family finally realize what's happening. I mean, you and your children. You'd be. I work with people that don't even know who Madonna is, let alone this girl. I laughed the other day, and this girl goes, "Ew, your face moved," and I was like, "Because of my turkey neck." I was like, "Ha!" She goes, "Ew, your face moved," and I was like, "This is your future."
This is your future.
This is your.
You mean they don't know who Madonna is? Nobody knows who Madonna.
They don't know who Madonna is. They don't know.
I know, but you wouldn't know her. You wouldn't know her today either.
Oh my God!
Well,
Bless her heart. She's a mess.
She looks like an alien.
She does,
for sure.
God, that poor guy that was dragging her. I saw this on the news. That guy that was dragging her down the runway in the chair.
What?
There was something that was on like the day before yesterday or whatever. She was at some fashion show or whatever, and it was some big dance scene or whatever. And this guy, a dancer, was pulling it. She was sitting in like an office chair, that kind of leans back, and he's dragging her down the runway, and she's singing, but he tripped. The chair fell over, and Madonna rolled off. She rolled off the thing. And my first thought was, man, that guy's dead.
Oh my God!
You can't be the guy.
Is that on YouTube?
Oh,
is that on YouTube?
I'm sure it's on YouTube.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure.
Along with the Bob Dean Show. Yay. Madonna.
Wow. Yeah, you can't drop Madonna. I'd move countries. You can't do that.
But yeah, she's scary looking now, bless her heart.
How old is Madonna?
The same as she's like got 1 year on me.
Ever notice you never?
Yeah, she's somewhere around there. It's all that hard living that she did, I guess.
Well, Dennis just said, have you ever noticed how she looks just like Hillary Clinton? Oh, you know what? Have you seen that woman on?
I haven't seen a photo of her in a long time.
She is a ugly woman, Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
And you know what?
Not go
Scuttled up
down.
down here in Beverly Hills, still being a bartender. Yes, I'm an actor and comedian, which means I'm a bartender. She's a bitch socially. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's conjecture on my part. You know, in the media, you can say that. You could go, "Oh, it's what was it? Creative license, creative license." You know who else is a bitch? Diana Ross and Ginger from Gilligan's Island. Tina Louise.
Oh no, not Ginger.
She's very unpleasant. She's an unpleasant woman. And you know who is a mess?
Ginger is an unpleasant woman.
She was an unpleasant woman. She might be dead. I don't know because I know the
biography on all of them. I honed into one of those. It was on YouTube, and if you could find out about the comedians that you used to watch, I know their whole biography, all of them. The doctor, Mr. and Mrs. Howell. I know all of them and how they all struggled their whole life to try to get a part. I mean, it was insane what they went through to get a part. And then when they got a part, then they would fail or something, but they wouldn't give up. It was amazing. I mean, so many different shows that we watched growing up. If you want to check them out, it was pretty wild what they went through to become
you're
famous.
right, Mike. But in Tina Louise, who I just did not give kudos to, but she was a beautiful. She was a lounge. What was the term? A singer. She had these sultry albums in the Lounge Lizard. Not Lounge Lizard. She was whatever it was, but she had these lovely albums. Her voice was.
That's
marvelous.
at a truck stop. Tell him that's at a truck stop. That's a lot.
What now?
Truck stops. That's where lot lizards are.
Yeah,
I've heard about lot lizards. Oh God.
Now, young ladies from the South should not know what a lounge lizard is, but what it is a friggin' prize. That's one thing of all these years attending bar, Clanton, is that at this point I could clock when they walk through the door a hooker, a narc, or somebody that's going to want something for free. You're going to drink out the drink, and we're going to go, I don't want the, I can't taste any alcohol in this. There's no point to that, except the lounge lizard is something that I've never had an encounter with before. But
a lot lizard, they're just looking for the truck drivers. The truck drivers are lonely, and they get it. Yeah, whatever.
Okay,
you know what? I do miss bartending. I do miss bartending a little bit because I miss that. That where I could deal with so many people at the same time. I just love that atmosphere where people would order drinks like 15 at a time and just making them really stylish like without breaking glass and stuff. It was best time ever. And being able to talk to everybody, it's amazing to be behind a bar because
and I know Rachel, I'm sorry that your dad and I were
no, I love this. Keep going.
But seriously, dude, now it's all about Dave. It's all about mixology and these drinks that they have no idea what it's like to be in a club like Rick's, and and nobody used a friggin' Visa check. Visa check card was the downfall of the fun in a nightclub. Because you are exactly right. The music's humping, ABBA's playing or whatever, but we are mixing and shaking, and there's 10 lined up, and and it's oh my God, that's why I'm sucked into.
It could be a 34 or 40. It could be a 30 or 40 chair bar, and be 10 deep behind each chair, hollering out orders. Loved it,
and we got them all. Boom, 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 boom. I was telling somebody at Rick's, because I didn't work at the same time you did. You opened Rick's, ladies and gentlemen, was at the height of the movie Scarface was entirely accurate. We made probably what?
Michael Jackson, the Thriller.
Huh?
Michael Jackson, the Thriller. It aired there.
Yeah. I mean, this place was packed. It was elbow to elbow, and all these guys were like, ugly and short in these bad suits, and they had lovely, beautiful women, and they had wads of money like this. And we would just humping, and that was a point to the story. Rick's, because you got me the job there. Thank you very much. Oh, that's where the guy jumped through the roof. You didn't work there at that point. This Friday afternoon, it was a happy hour. It was right before, like how one guy came on at 6 and the other 3 came on at 9. And I'm pouring happy hour drinks and I hear this boom. And the roof exploded. The ceiling exploded. This guy had jumped from the hotel and came through. Oh, it was tragic. His legs.
I wasn't there.
I know you
I
weren't.
wasn't.
I'm saying it happened after you.
Oh.
Yeah. I know, ladies and gentlemen, watching the Bob Dean Show. Yay.
I remember being there, and it was snowing. It snowed there. You could see it come through the see-through globe, right? The see-through glass.
The glass ceiling, yeah.
Wait, so why did the guy jump through the ceiling?
He was. What happened was he was a doctor who had found out that his wife was not faithful. He checked into the hotel. It was a beautiful, modern, beautiful hotel at that
back then.
And he got witnesses. He checked in, went up to his room, opened the window, and jumped. Some kids saw him, from the pool. And I think he was aiming for the huge glass roof that you were just mentioning. He missed it by a foot. And he came through, and first he hit the, like the tar roof, I have to watch the time. Oh, we're getting ready to wrap this up quick in a minute. He hit the tar roof, and there was like this boom. And I was telling one of my long-winded, unclimactic jokes, as I do daily. And there was like this boom. And Ilona, this cocktail waitress, she had a tray of drinks, and stopped and looked, and she looked at the roof like this and the ceiling. And she took a few more steps. I turned around, and there was a second boom, and all the the corrugated fiber panels went, and the people that were sitting around the bar at that point, it wasn't very crowded. They all come running in a circle, and that's when I was young and limber, and I ran over to that corner well, and I grabbed the glass rack, and I jumped up onto the bar, and I stuck my head into the hole because I thought somebody had thrown a piece of furniture out of the window because it was red fabric, and there was this poor guy. And his legs were crisscrossed like this, and he was wearing a toupee. His hair was stuck like this. His eyes were crisscrossed.
Oh my gosh!
And I leaned down like this, and then that's when his legs came down, and they were like, and everybody ran screaming. And that's the first time I ever drank tequila, Clinton, because I knew 1800 Cuervo was strong, and all of a sudden the room's empty, and these legs are going. And I went over to the Cuervo 200. I opened the door,
my God.
Look.
That's crazy.
It was horrible. And then I went back to where remember how the cocktail, ladies and gentlemen, back then, the cocktail waitresses, can we call them that now without offending anybody? They wore stiletto heels, fishnet with these little silk panties, and then a tuxedo shirt with a bow tie, didn't they, Dave? And they worked their butts off, and they had 1,500 drinks in their head. But I went back to the back, and they're all back there blowing up those helium balloons for the parties. And I'm like, this guy just jumped through the roof. And they're like, screw you, Bob D. And I'm like, no, really. And then here's Susan Neal, her little high heels. She goes, click, 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 click. And they hear click, 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 click. She goes, oh my God, there's some guy heading to the roof. I was like, I told you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have more. It's about time to wrap up. Here we go on the Bob Dean Show. Yay. Traveling to every different direction. Ray, I love you. David Clanton, my pal. We're going to have you guys on again. Please.
We'd love to.
My best to your lovely wife.
That was fun. Yeah, for sure.
And I just miss you. I miss you, pal. You're obnoxious as hell. And so am I. And that's people.
That's why it works so good. There's so many more stories. There's so many stories, Bobby. But maybe the next show.
The thing about it is that people want to hear them. They do, David. They want to hear them. And Rachel's like,
I know.
I want to hear them.
Because, geez, we grew up together. We experienced so much.
Being in your 20s, it's like, I'm in my 20s right now. So it's like, these are prime years that you remember, and you guys, like, your relationship is really cool to hear about it and hear the stories from both of you. So I would love to get back on your
knocked on doors. We knocked on doors, but we always had our composure. We were dressed in our polo shirts and our khaki shorts, etc. We never looked like it, but we literally. And your dad he's like, we get these Burger King coupons, and we get 2 Whoppers, and we each have a Whopper. And your dad was the one that he's like, put these pennies in the jar, and that's what we did. That's how we ended up with that great apartment. Y'all kids today have no idea what it was like.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Do you remember when we saved you and I both? I saved my first.
What?
Huh? What?
What?
Okay. I remember when I saved my first 1,000, and you did too, and we're like, oh my God, I got $1,000.
Oh wait! Remember the first we were.
And it was in a shoebox.
We were staying at the Harley Sunrise in Fort Lauderdale, right on the beach, and we were walking out of the back of the hotel, and there's 2 drunk chicks in the custom van. They were like, we're crossing the street, go to some bar. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and you hear this, and they rip the whole roof off the van. Remember? And these 2 drunk chicks get out, and they're like, well, they just walk away.
What was that on the strip?
That was remember we stayed at the Harley Sunrise, that hotel with Spats put us up. And these people don't want to hear this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for tuning into the Bob Dean Show. Yay. Right, love you. David,
that was fun.
Love you. Abby, love you. Luke, love you. Dennis, love you. And that's it for today. We're going to come back soon. I hope you all have enjoyed our stroll down memory lane.
There's many more great stories.
We'll touch on them, but next time it'll just be Rachel. I mean, thank you guys for watching the Dean Show. We'll see you in a couple weeks. God bless.
Hey, God bless. Bye. Love you.
You're listening to The Bob Dean Show, only on LA Talk Radio.